All right, so a civil war has happened in 2497. So we got Yogi Bear here, and I believe I'm gonna have to pronounce your name right. Is it Vex? Because you're a Japanese character right now.
It's Bex.
Bex. This is Bex.
Yes.
All right, Bex. So Bex here with the White Wolves, and you guys gonna tell us what the heck is going on in your kingdom?
Yeah, so I mean, we were with you guys in KVK one, so you guys have met Destiny before, and I'm sure that there are plenty of opinions of him throughout your kingdom as well, but and through Lost Kingdom chat this KVK. But essentially, when we knew the KVK was over, it kind of started from there. Well, at least the start of the downfall of him started from there because I already knew something was up when he goes into our KVK2 allies chat and starts disparaging the other leaders within the kingdom, which I did send you a photo of that as well, of course. From there, it basically transpired to we've been using one giant kingdom Discord where MX has its own channel, its own voice channels, alliance chat, everything within it. But Destiny decided to go ahead and make like a separate Discord for him and his people, trying to further that rift and continue convincing people that WW is out to get us, all this and that, and basically line himself up for a civil war. After KVK2, in order to kind of heal that rift, I went to him and I said, hey, why don't you and me step down and we'll let like the next lineup of leaders kind of take over for a while and see if it heals the rift between the two alliances. And he agreed to that. And lo and behold, afterward, I find out he basically led from the backseat through chaos the whole time. But so we fast forward a little bit after. Then I start getting messages from people in my alliance that are in both servers, ours and his, in Discord, telling me that, hey, Destiny keeps spouting his mouth about WW and VIPS and IR in his Discord server. And I said, well, there's not a lot I can do with that at all. I told him, I said, listen, if he's going to start running his mouth and saying things and plotting against the kingdom, then we need some form of proof. So if you hear him do that, just hit your button so we can at least hear something. So it wasn't a lot, but I did send you 3 audio recordings as well that just kind of shows a little bit more his personality and his side and the way he thinks. And just because, I mean, we're not blind, we could tell that something was up and something was coming. But we still didn't really plan anything against it, except for we went ahead and we were working with Chaos because him and I wasn't. Bex was doing this the whole time, which is why she's here as well. But Bex was working with Chaos and got Chaos to agree to let us hold the Lost Temple through the migration period. Well, at least this part is kind of hearsay and rumor. I don't have sufficient evidence of this yet, but we're working on getting it from other people that he's reached out to. We believe, or at least I believe, that his intent was to get the LT for migration, open it all the way to do a hostile takeover of the kingdom, because we know he's reached out to several players over 65 million power, and we know that with Lilith's new rules, you have to set the cap ahead of time. So we believe his plan was basically to, all right, we're going to take the LT anyways, and we're going to do so by force, and then we're going to have our strong guys come here, and so we can run the kingdom, with basically a dictatorship. And we actually found out from one of his members that he was basically not even telling his whole alliance everything that he was planning and wanting to do, but instead telling people, hey, come on at this time, which doesn't make any sense, for an ARC practice match, even though we're in the middle of an MGE week. So anyone that's played the game for any amount of time should know that's not even viable right now or feasible. And so, of course, he gets a bunch of people online, sends out his mail and letters and all that he is going to, that he's been made the bad guy, and woe is me. The WW just wants the kingdom and the kingship all for themselves, and this and that, in typical his fashion, and got some people rallied together and lined up, all ready to set to go ahead and fight us for the kingdom. That I get a message on Discord, a call on Discord. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And everyone's telling me, hey, you need to get on. Shit's going down right now. I get on 30 minutes before the LT on Bubbles, and thankfully I did. I put my garrison and stuff like that in the temple ahead of time because I didn't trust them. And I'm glad I did, because honestly, for the first rally or two, I mean, I had all of my infantry in it. I lost a fair amount of T5 troops in the first rally. And thankfully, the kingdom just basically came together because nobody wanted him as, a leader, a dictator, however you want to call it, in this kingdom. He does have some loyal followers that I cannot, I cannot hold them accountable for wanting to follow a leader they followed for this long. I can, I find that commendable, almost, if that's the correct word, that he's, built that much faith with the people, even though this is the fourth kingdom that he has now brought to civil war. And I actually sent you some old reports because I thought it would be even better for you to see that in other kingdoms he has been zeroed as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Thought that was worth sharing, and I'll send you some of the battle reports in game later just for you to share if you want as well. But I mean, yes, this is a civil war because unfortunately afterwards, since we can no longer trust the leadership of MX, we did have to delete their alliance. And yes, they are still causing a little bit of havoc for MGE. Hopefully they will find a good place to migrate and will have better luck in whatever kingdom they go to next. But that was basically the gist of what started the war, was an agreement that he didn't want to uphold, and so he decided to go ahead and go rogue.
For 97 and let it be ran, or let it be inherited by asswipes who don't deserve it.
Good.
Well, it's not like WW would take over.
Well, who else would do it if we leave?
Boy, you've got to be shitting me. There's 12,000 T3 cav in my fucking rally.
I don't know. Like, I don't have the passports to fucking leave right now.
I'm just like, hopefully it doesn't come into anything that doesn't have to be. But if ever it comes to a point where it's like an ultimatum or whatever, like, I'm not leaving. It's just gonna. I know my strength, and it's gonna be more than anyone else can handle.
Right.
So the way these other assholes like to talk more than they fight.
Man.
Okay.
See it.
Huh?
Oh no, like how they like to make it seem like we're the problem.
I wouldn't have to kill everybody. I'd have to kill like 7 people.
Yeah, well.
Let the word spread. Stand down or get destroyed. I'll tell you.
I was gonna say the only people that we rallied at all, I believe. Now I might have missed one, but I know I rallied Cheza. We rallied Destiny a bunch. But that's primarily it. The other people that we did rally were a couple of the other T5 players, and honestly, we didn't want to rally them, but we rallied them just because we needed kind of to win. I mean, they were fighting against us, filling their stuff.
That's fine.
So we didn't really have a choice, but I want it definitely to be known. We want as little and have wanted as little bloodshed as possible. So yes, this is a civil war, if you can call it that. I mean, if you call 8 rallies a civil war, okay then. But I mean, other than that, we do have a few outliers left that are going around trying to ruin MGE. But I mean, other than that, that's really it. Like, it sucks we had to destroy MX. Destiny came to me and asked for a ceasefire the next day, basically, and he upheld, in typical fashion, about 30% of his agreement. But we're trying to uphold our end, and we're not rallying anyone that's not. The only people that we're attacking now are people that are like going around killing farmers or attacking cities, that sort of thing.
So my question is, then I see MX is pretty much gone. I don't think they even have a fortress. What's the members gonna have? They still have about 100 players. All the 100 players gonna move out. What's gonna happen in your
so
kingdom?
Destiny's already stated that he's gonna end up disbanding the alliance before he leaves. According to them, a lot of them are gonna migrate out. Obviously, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
What? I said, according to him, a lot of them are going to migrate out, but obviously not all of them are going to migrate out. Some have already came to WW. IR has space. We have other alliances that have max tech or are about to have max tech that are basically going to fill the position that MX is leaving. So, I mean, people that thought WW just wants the Lost Temple and they want full control and this and that, they're out of their minds.
As you'll see, Destiny actually pushed 2 of the alliances out of Zone 3 just before we came back to Home Kingdom. That was something that he kind of did against WW's wishes because he was king at the time. So now that he is out, those alliances will be let back into Zone 3.
Now, my question is...
There's a lot of things that I've agreed to and stuff with Destiny.
My question is, were you guys like a jumper group, or did you guys just met in the kingdom?
So I was. So I'm from Kingdom 2045. I came here with several jumpers with me. So a lot of the people that you see like in the kingdom now with T5 accounts actually came from 2045 with me. So a lot of these players, I mean, I've played with for years. Like, Miss Jess, Malvernus, Scout. I played with these people for a long time. Bex.
The other half of the T5 came from 1428 with me. Yeah. I actually met Destiny 2.5 years ago. He recruited my group, my small little group, to 1803. In 1803, he had the Second Alliance as well. He had his whole following of heroes, the same thing he has here. Pretty much the same thing happened. He wasn't agreeing with what the Maid Alliance was wanting to do. He was wanting to rebel against them, and his R4s basically said that they weren't going to do it. So his little group kind of broke up. Me and my group migrated out, and he asked us if he could come with us. We allowed him to come with us, unfortunately, because we were not in that kingdom long enough, and we did not know Destiny well enough at that time. Now that I look back at it, I think I should have known better that none of his hero group people that were migrating to other kingdoms wanted him to go with them. He kind of had nowhere left to go. So he came with us to 2013, where Waste was the king. A couple months after we got there, Waste started sharing kingship with me, and Destiny came to me and said, let's take kingship, overthrow Waste, open up migration, we'll get all the heroes back in, we'll be a big happy family again, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not me. That's not my personality at all. And he did not like that, and he started causing the rift within that kingdom and ended up causing a civil war there.
I see.
That is
this
where
like
he was zeroed. I believe Yogi sent you the...
Looks like a trouble, huh? So basically what he wants here, he wanted to take the control of the kingdom. Was he also the issue with 2500? I know there was an issue with 2500 farms being zeroed. Is it from 97, I think?
Yeah,
Yes, I believe it was Chaos.
Yeah, Chaos did that. I didn't even know she did that. Like, apparently your bank got hit, and I didn't even know anything about that.
Sauce was very mad about it.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that until recently, actually. So now I'm glad she's leaving, too. And I'll be honest, out of this whole Civil War, there's only 2 or 3 things that actually really upset me. I'm really upset about the people in MX that wanted nothing to do with this, that got dragged in and screwed, right? Because now, I mean, they're losing their alliance. They have to find other places. They have to decide if they want to migrate or stay here, so on and so forth. And that's, I mean, it's shitty. Like, as a leader, you need to think about your people and what they want, not what you want. So, I mean, that was shitty. And then, I mean, I looked at Chaos. I talked to her regularly, almost every day. She was friendly to us. She honestly, I think, believes that this rift in the kingdom was not going to be fixed while Destiny was here. I think we all came to that assumption, but she's loyal to Destiny, so I can't really hold her at fault for being so loyal to him, but I can hold her at fault for smiling to my face while stabbing me in the back. Now that I am definitely upset about as well, because I mean, if you were 100% with them, why not just be on board? Like, if we were going to have a civil war over some bullshit, why not have just been clear and honest about it and open about it? That's the part that really bothers me. But at the end of the day, 97 is completely united now because of this war. Like the trouble that is leaving in the next few days, once it's gone, this kingdom band together better than it ever has before. Like, it's amazing how quickly people jumped in to help.
Mm-hmm.
That's
As much
good.
as it sucked, I'm actually kind of glad that it did happen because it did really help our kingdom. I think a lot of people were torn a little bit, didn't know what was going on, and once they saw the real picture, it really brought us together.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm just worried they can't hear me. So I'm just gonna start. So that's actually pretty good because, like what you said, it kind of united your kingdom in here. So moving forward, it looks like you guys are intact, and removing MX in your kingdom shouldn't be a huge deal because you'll be able to recruit. I see you guys seems like a really good leadership in here. So I didn't even know that it was actually them who caused all this issue, even with 2500. So I'm sure knowing that, even for us, for our leadership, knowing that the one that caused the issue would be gone, I'm sure, opening up, diplomatic relationship between other kingdoms should be better in coming next KVK. Let's kind of wrap things up in here. If you guys have anything last to say, maybe you guys have some words to say to some of the MX members that are still, thinking about migrating. Maybe you guys want to keep some of them, or what's your opinion about them, or anything, and especially like even with your alliance or your IR alliance as well. So open floor before we end the content.
I mean,
I mean, go ahead, Yog.
I would definitely say I'm proud of all of the other alliances within the kingdom coming together the way they did. As for MX members, and I've said this in Kingdom Chat over and over and over again, anyone that wants to stay at this point is welcome to stay. Now, if you are one of the people going around zeroing farms, zeroing cities, you need to leave with Destiny. Like, that's just how it is. We don't need toxic people. We don't need people that want to divide within the kingdom. We are a council-led united kingdom. So that means it's not just WW, it's not just IR, it's not just MX. We are council-led, which means there are multiple voices, multiple people making decisions. And if you're not on board with that, then I do have to ask you kindly to leave. Those that want to stay, I sincerely hope you do. You will get all of the same possibilities as any other member in the kingdom. So that's about it.
All right. What about Bex?
Yes, I think that a lot of people. Yeah, I just want to add that I think that a lot of people didn't really know what was going on. And the ones that do want to stay, you will be welcomed with open arms. It's not about WW versus MX. It was never about WW versus MX. It was simply about getting the problem out of the kingdom, the toxic people out of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Usually it's really, a lot of the time civil war comes between leadership and it's really just differences of personalities. I mean, I've experienced this before, so I know what it's like. Well, I wish you guys good luck on the 97. Looks like you two are quite good people, and I hope that you guys can continue enjoying gaming in here. And I'm sure after this video, more people would probably reach out and
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you doing this with us too.